So we're only about 30 days away from a drastic change in the crypto market. For people that are new here that have not experienced this before, this is when things really begin to get exciting. What I'm talking about is the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving means it gets significantly harder to mine BTC, twice as difficult actually. And then demand begins to rise. You see assets begin to climb. And this is again when alts begin to take off. This is when something like SHIB and many other assets in the space tend to perform their best, is post halving. All right. Now, what I have to say is this: typically around the time of the halving, you do go through some sort of correction. We've talked about, do we see it this cycle? Is this cycle different? And the more I'm looking at the data, the more I think that we do get some sort of correction in the market. But I have to say this: I don't think this is it quite yet. I think we still have another pop in the tank before the likelihood of that happening. And I want to explain why. So over the last week, it's funny because there's been some bearish takes. People have said, oh yeah, this is our dip starting. And right now we're basically at the same position we were last Saturday. BTC is setting up some actual direction here, which is great. It's trying to actually climb and break through this, what would that be? The 80-hour and the 200-hour moving averages there. You can see the direction being set there. SHIB is kind of settling in above its 400-hour moving average. There's actually some DCA opportunities that have flashed on the charts here, which if you guys are curious, again, this indicator is in the description below. You guys can check it out. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. I've been using it a ton. I picked up some great positions because of this, so you guys can do what you want. But when I'm looking at these charts, you can see SHIB's kind of flattening out and kind of nestling in this range, right? BTC is trying to climb and set some direction here, but that's not what I'm looking at. I am actually looking at what money is doing. What is retail money doing right now? And guess what? Retail money is not flowing out. It is actually positioning itself to buy. All right. When we look at the USDT inflows to exchanges, they have been high for quite some time. And in fact, March has been one of the biggest inflow months we've seen, and actually has been the biggest inflow month we've seen in the last 6 months. It probably, we're halfway through and it probably outdid the amount of inflows we saw in terms of February as a whole. That's a big deal. You can see the average has been on the rise. So we're still going through this period of significant inflows to exchanges. Well, we just saw the highest change to the positive side in USDC or USDT held on exchanges in the last 6 months. Retail money is flowing into exchanges at a significantly higher rate than what we're seeing outflows in. All right. That is a big deal. You can see this the 7 day, you can see it even drastically outdoes it's actually almost double. Yeah. Almost double the last 30 days. Right now, retail money, and this is data from the 14th, so just 2 days ago, this money is positioning itself to accumulate, to buy. People don't park USDT on exchanges just to park it on exchanges. People know better by now, right? And you can see since October, where it was just kind of flat and neutral, we're in a significantly different place. Even just from about a month ago, we are in a significantly different place. That's why right now I say that I don't think that this is our start of our drop, because then why is retail money positioning to buy? Why are we seeing BTC show some strength down these levels? Why are we seeing SHIB flatten out? Now, why this is important is, remember, when retail money begins to buy up the market, that's when SHIB does well. SHIB typically ends up being one of the top 4 most traded coins in all of crypto. And right now it's, I didn't take a look at the volume at all, but right now it's been at a great buying point for me personally, right? People can always do what they want. I've been accumulating assets throughout the space. I've been taking advantage of this dip because, again, I see what this money is doing. And right now it's just all prepared. Now, I will say this climb for BTC, I don't know if this was our top here. I don't know how quickly we get back up to 73K. And the reason why I say that is what helped fuel this run along the way was leveraged liquidations. We saw shorts being liquidated left and right. People were being dumb, just thinking, oh yeah, the market's going to fall. We've never done this before. And people lost a crap ton of money. All right. Shorts lost so much money. It's not even funny. And right now you can see people are being a little more cautious. There are leverage positions, but you can see that this gap on this chart is enormous. It's basically between 65K all the way up to 74K. So we're talking about a $9,000 gap where the liquidations in that range are quite small compared to what we were seeing. Before, we were very much sandwiched in this very tight range. That's why we saw price being so volatile in terms of BTC. Now everybody's getting a little smarter. People are setting the width a little wider here. So we may move slower, but that's okay, because this is where actually, if BTC moves slower but shows some positive movement, this is where, again, something like SHIB actually may gain a little ground. We may see alt start to gain a little ground pre-halving, which, believe it or not, is typically what happens. You don't gain your major dominance until post-halving, but yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Could I be wrong? 100%, right? I could absolutely be wrong. But right now is not typically the time that we go through our correction yet. We're usually a little bit closer to the halving. Sometimes we're basically on top of the halving, and that may be what happens, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I want to hear your thoughts below. I want to hear how you're interpreting this data.